So, Pam, I'm just getting relaxed. What would you like? What would you like? What would you like to have happen? What's going on for you? What would you like coaching on? Oh, can you hold that right up to your mouth? Thanks.
In my business, I'm really successful, and whenever I set myself any business goals, I always achieve them.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to me personally, I don't achieve the goals I set myself, and I always feel that whenever I'm doing anything, like I want to get healthier and lose weight,
Mm-hmm.
I feel really guilty giving myself any time for myself. So I look after everybody else in a really great way, and then when it comes to me, I feel really guilty about it. And I feel like I set myself up for disaster all the time personally,
What do you mean by disaster?
like not achieving what I set out to achieve.
Got it. So, I'm just going to play some stuff back to you. I heard you say, I always achieve my business goals, but I don't achieve the goals I set for myself personally. But I was confused because the goals you set for yourself in your business, are they not for you personally?
Yeah. But also for my clients as well.
Well, and so if you do your business effectively, then your clients benefit.
Yeah. And I do too.
Okay. But would your clients not benefit from you being healthier?
Massively. And this is one of the battles I have in my head, because I can tell myself logically that it's the right thing to do to put my own oxygen mask on first and be the best version of me, but I don't actually feel it. There's like a massive gap between what I logically tell myself and actually what I feel inside.
Well, now I heard you say, and I think that's for all of us, like if I could just, go to the doctor and say, hey doc, and he goes, hey Jamie, you need to lose a couple of stone, you need to exercise every day, stop smoking, stop eating biscuits, da-da-da-da-da. I'll be like, oh, thanks doc, I'll go take care of that now. That would make the doc's job real easy. But I think everyone's like that I bet everyone you know could write a list of the things they think they should be doing and shouldn't be doing and that sort of thing. But actually, like to me, in a way, that's kind of at the heart of real change, isn't it? The difference between something making sense, in our heads and something actually coming to life in our day-to-day living. So yeah, it's in a way it's the perfect example. This is at the heart of the matter, is we all have things that we kind of think we should do, but that we struggle with. So why do you think it is that a person would have something that kind of makes sense on paper, but they don't seem to be able to get themselves to do it?
Part of it, I feel really guilty spending the time on myself.
Well, it's funny you say guilty. I was going to come back to that. Now, when you feel guilty at the thought of spending time on yourself, or guilty while you're spending time on yourself, or guilty afterwards, before,
No.
during, or after?
No, during.
During, okay. So basically, if I understand correctly, you might go, okay, I'm going to take time for myself, but then while you're taking the time for yourself, it actually feels uncomfortable. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I start to feel more stressed, and then it's harder to have the right level of commitment to it.
Yeah. Well, now, what do you make of that? Oh, can you hold the mic right up in front of you?
Yeah.
I'll show you. I'll give you here's microphone technique. Like that. Can you see? Like that. I'll show all them too. Like that, so you're like speaking right into it.
Okay, thank you.
Pleasure.
Training finished?
Yeah. So, And I'm just pausing sometimes because I'm really kind of wanting to kind of feel my way into it. So what I was wondering is, why do you suppose a person who's doing the stuff that they know is going to basically benefit everyone because it's taking care of themselves and making them, and putting their own oxygen mask on first so that they can be of service and that sort of thing, why would they feel guilty doing that?
I feel like I need to be working.
Got it. So like you should be working.
Yeah.
Now that feeling of I should be working or I need to be working, so that feeling of guilt, what do you think that feeling is letting you know about?
I've got no idea.
Well, I'm going to draw a picture. That's my answer to everything. When in doubt, draw a picture. And I'm going to make some guesses, but you let me know if I'm right. So we'll call this Pam's theory of guilty feelings. So if I was guessing, I would guess that the feeling, it's like it's letting you know about the work that's not getting done.
Yeah.
So undone work. Anything else?
Yeah, I feel selfish putting myself first.
So it's letting you know about yourself and selfishness and where you're putting yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else? Anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay. So, well, let me check. In terms of the work not getting done, is there anything about what might happen if that work doesn't get done in there?
No.
Okay, cool, good. So you get a guilty feeling, and it seems like it's giving you information about work that needs doing, about what you're being like, so about you, what you like, and about where you're putting yourself in the kind of in the pecking order and or in the who gets taken care of order. Yeah. Okay. What I'm going to suggest, Pam, is that those guilty feelings don't know about any of that stuff. They don't know that there's even such a thing as work.
Right.
The feelings of guilt are an absolutely reliable signal letting you know that in that moment you're wearing a pair of guilty goggles.
Right.
Like that's, like right now you're feeling amused, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That feeling of amusement lets you know that you're perceiving the world with slightly amused goggles, okay?
Yeah.
Now that's not because of what I said. I could say that to 10 people and one of them might get outraged and punch me in the nose because they were wearing outraged goggles, or someone else might think, oh, that's stupid, so they're wearing dismissive goggles. So your feelings are there to let you know what goggles, and they're sort of like VR goggles, what VR goggles you're wearing at the moment. Are you wearing guilty VR goggles? Are you wearing peaceful VR goggles? Are you wearing accomplishment VR goggles? Are you wearing contented?
Right, no?
Well, in any moment,
In
any moment, your feelings are they're there to let you know what kind of goggles you're wearing. Like, I'll give you an example. Right now, in this moment, I'm feeling a little bit connected to you. Like a little bit more connected than I was even 30 seconds ago. So I'm kind of like, oh, cool. I'm wearing connection goggles. Now, I love wearing connection goggles because when I'm wearing connection goggles, I feel close to people and I feel warm, and I get a sense of the truth of who they really are and of who I really am and what life really is. So I really love wearing connection goggles. And that feeling of connection is just letting me know that that's the lens that I'm looking at life through. Now here's the funny thing. That feeling of connection doesn't know anything about the fact that we're in a big room or that there's a bunch of people here or anything like that. It just knows what kind of goggles I'm wearing. So I used to be terrified of public speaking. So if you put me at the front of a group of people, if 20 years ago I had suddenly woke up and I'm sitting here, I'd be like, fucking hell! And I would have been terrified. I would have instantly put on a pair of terror goggles because I would have been really scared. But that wouldn't have been letting me know about the room or anything, because otherwise I would be feeling that now, and I don't. I'm feeling connection. So your feelings, they're really important. They're there to let you know what goggles you're wearing. But we get confused and we believe they're telling us about what we're looking at. Now, what are you hearing in what I'm saying, Pam?
It's my choice what goggles I'm wearing.
Well, now let me go a little further. What did you hear about it? It's your choice what goggles you're wearing.
Because the situation's the same, and it's just how, like, what lens I'm choosing to look through.
Now, here's what I'll say, and this may sound a bit dubious, so feel free to take your time over. I don't think you're choosing, and I don't think I'm choosing. I don't think, like the other day when I woke up in the morning and I was like lying in bed last Friday or whenever it was, and I'm like, oh my God, I feel so good. I feel so amazing. Now, given the choice, I wouldn't only wake up feeling like that every day. I'd feel that way all day, no matter what was going on, under all circumstances. Is like, Jamie has just received some really bad news. Hit me. I'm feeling great. Why are you feeling great? I just chose to feel great all the time. Now, I'm not sure that that's a thing. Like, and I used to be in the choose how you feel and feel it game. That was my job. And I knew many of the trainers in that world too, many of the top NLP trainers and stuff. None of them could choose how they felt in any consistent way. Right. So it just doesn't look real to me. However, I'm going to make up a quote right now. I'm going to make up a quote and then run out of space. Realizing, see, the issue, Pam, isn't that sometimes you feel guilty because sometimes you're wearing guilty goggles. That's not an issue. The issue is that you think there's more to it than that. See, if you knew, I'm just feeling guilty because I'm wearing guilty goggles, whatever, man. You'd be fine. You'd be able to do whatever you want to do. The issue is, you go, oh, I'm feeling guilty. That's telling me about my work and what I'm like and where I am. You think there's more to it than that. Like me, you become a bad Sherlock Holmes. You go, why am I feeling guilty? Ah, I found the solution. It's because of this, and it's because of that, and it's because of that. No, it's just because you're wearing guilty goggles sometimes. Sometimes you're wearing connected goggles. Sometimes you're wearing joyful goggles. Sometimes you're wearing sad goggles. Sometimes you're wearing peaceful goggles. Sometimes you're wearing inspired goggles. Now, we don't get to choose, at least not at the level of our personality. Like, who you really are is probably choosing. And who you really are is the source of the goggles and the feelings and everything. So who you really are can certainly choose. But it doesn't really matter what goggles you're wearing. What matters is realizing that your feelings are telling you about thought, not about the things you're looking at or thinking about. And that's a big deal. If you see that for yourself, that changes everything.
Makes sense.
Now, what did you see that makes sense?
That it's just my perception, not the reality.
Yeah, now what do you mean by that?
So it's actually being truthful with myself, because the truth of the matter is, it isn't about that I need to do more work, and that I do deserve to have that time for myself. So it's just my perception that it's not okay to be doing the other things.
I really like what you said, that you deserve to have time for yourself. Do you know that? As you sit here right now.
Logically, yes, but...
Oh, we've got a different way of saying that here. Here how we say that is, I don't know that. And that's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay to not know that. Can you just tell me that? Sometimes I don't know that I deserve time for myself.
Yeah, because often I feel like I don't deserve time for myself.
And I get that. But just because you sometimes feel like you don't deserve it, doesn't mean that you don't deserve it. I know I'm kind of peering at you.
Sorry.
Is it okay?
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, I thought you were. Because I can really feel you. It's nice. Like, you know that feeling of connection and peace that you can feel? That's coming from who you really are. And who you really are is before time and work and matter and all that sort of stuff. It's like the essence of you. And there's not enough work in the world that you could improve who you really are. And there's nothing you could fail to do that would diminish who you really are. Because who you really are is already whole and perfect and complete. Like, that's already, that's not to say there aren't things we could do to, like, improve our health or improve our skills or whatever. There's a whole world full of that stuff, but none of that's gonna have one iota of impact on who you really are. Because who you really are, like, I can feel, who you really are is kind of sitting back going, yeah, this is all playing out, right?
Mm.
Now, the reason I wanted to have you kind of just, like, because you said about being honest. You said, if I'm being honest, I do deserve it. I don't need to do more work. Well, that's why I wanted you to say, I guess I don't know it sometimes or often. That's just being honest. And it's okay to not know something, because if you don't know something, then you could learn it. You could discover it. You could realize it for yourself. Now breathe. I want you to breathe. Yeah, that's it. I want you to breathe. And what I want to tell you, Pam, is you have every reason to be hopeful. Every reason, because there are a million things in life that you didn't know. And then you realized them. You discovered them. So this is just one more of those. And the good news is, it's already true. Who you really are deserves all the good that's coming your way. Now, speak to me. What are you, and it's fine if you're, like, because if I was sitting where you are, I might be having the old kind of, yeah, easy for you to say, pal, or I might be having the old, yeah, that's bullshit, mate, or so where are you at?
No, what you're saying is making sense. And I'm just thinking about how I can absorb what you're saying and actually commit to it.
Well, here's the beautiful thing. I'm going to take one more job off your list. You don't need to absorb it, and you don't need to commit to it. Because here's the thing. I get that you're good at committing to things. But what I would love for you is for you to realize it for yourself and for it to just show up in the most natural and organic and Pam-friendly way in the world. In a way that didn't require you to force yourself or compel yourself or make yourself do it. That you would realize it and it would begin to emerge in a way that's the perfect fit for who you really are. That's exactly right for you. I'll tell you a personal story. I dreamed for years of being strong and fit and healthy and eating a healthy diet and all that sort of thing. Every day since I've been in London, I've been going to the gym, I've been lifting weights, I've been doing high-intensity interval training, which is horrible. I've been mostly eating good food, but here's the most interesting bit of all. When I have something that's not so good for me, I get over it. It's like, oh, big deal. In what I used to do, I would commit to myself, okay, I'm never going to eat another biscuit as long as I live. And I wouldn't for like 6 weeks or 7 weeks or 8 weeks. And then someone would have, and they would catch me in a low moment, and they would have one of those massive biscuits, and they'd go, oh, I can't eat all of it, go on, have some. I'd be like, no, okay, I'll have a little bit. I'd have like one mouthful of biscuit. Fuck it, that's blown everything. Well, I may as well eat an entire ice cream store. The power of commitment, okay? So now, I just find that, see, it sounds to me like you've already got enough shoulds. The last thing you need is one more. So here's my commitment to you. Going forward, like the thing that you don't need to absorb what I'm saying. You're going to realize it from within yourself. It's not going to come from me. It's going to come from in you. It's already there.
Yeah, I get that now.
What do you get?
That it's going to come from me, because one of the really big things earlier was about that I'm not my work. So I'm not about, even serving others or whatever. It is about who I am first.
Yeah.
And I deserve to be me.
Totally. And not only that, you're here for a reason. And the more you're able to just be you, the more impact and the more service, the more difference you can make to the world. Like, you're the perfect person to be you. You're like, and so you can relax. And that doesn't mean not working or not doing the things that work. It just means relaxing up here. Relaxing up here. Relaxing up there. Like I tried for many, many years to sort out my health by working really hard up here. And it sometimes worked a bit, but never for long. And since I learned to take it easier up here, the rest of it's all taking care of itself. So I think what we're going to do now is we're going to pause here. I'm going to take some questions from these guys. You just chill. But we'll check in tomorrow morning, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Just stay here for the moment. So, big round of applause for Pam.
I just want to say I feel so light. It's like just so unbelievably light. The lightest I've felt in years. It's just amazing. So, thank you. Just feels so light. It's just incredible. That's all I want to keep saying. Thank you, Jamie. Following on from yesterday, last night I couldn't remember what I'd put on the list about what I felt guilty about. I thought, that's a bit odd, because I've got a really good memory. And then this morning I was thinking, what did I put on the list? And I can kind of vaguely remember the first one. And I'm really excited about going to the gym tomorrow. And I have got no idea what I said I used to feel guilty about, because it's just not there in my head anymore. It's like amazing. I feel so light as well. It's just brilliant. Thank you.